Oh my God! Shepherd just put a heart in the window for me. I love this. Hello. Oh, hey.
Oh my gosh, how beautiful it's serendipitous. Hi, baby.
Oh.
Wild Yamco? No, that's Disney.
Amethyst. Thank you. We love this woman who makes these. Olive. She's quite a lover. We're going on a nice hike. You're holding a bazillion things, but
I've got some new friends of mine.
really,
Hey, weird things.
we just walked in too because we're on our way to go on a hike. Bye, Shepherd. See you later. Mwah. See that poodle? It doesn't bark. Okay. Serving, teaching, and living it. And you have to see what you don't want to see what you do want, like Abraham Hicks says. And so I realized what I do want too is that simplicity, and it's so against our conditioning and programming and society and Instagram and the media and who we want to be. And especially if you have narcissistic parents and you're like, fuck, I gotta be the #1 most selling psychotherapist, some genius, Gabor on all the documentaries. That's Gabor's path. He doesn't even give a fuck. He's like a simple man. It's not getting to him. For somebody like you and me, maybe it would get to us and it would destroy us. And like we're supposed to work quieter and simpler. And like that means like making my family yummy food and cheering up my friends in my community and being committed to my daily spiritual practices and my growth.
That
She's gotta go.
constant principle of being so in tune with life and with yourself and what affects you that you don't allow the things into your life that affect you negatively, or there are things that are going to affect you negatively that are necessary to deal with in life, and knowing how to handle those things.
Look how blue the sky is. I'm so grateful for such a blue sky. Like how pretty is this to experience this blue sky? I love it. It's incredible. Do you want to make some yummy food together tonight? And we could watch the Minimalism documentary? Start. Whoa! Well, no, that's okay.
When everything, not only your stuff, but the things you do, your spouse, your
Being so strung out.
everything's all spread out in such a big space and you got so much stuff.
So much stress.
It's like my brain went from this chaos up there to now in this house where it can just actually relax. And
Gosh, I wish there was an area that wasn't so muddy. We're already in it now.
accept the mud.
Yeah, we can just accept the mud.
When you're fed this idea of what you are and what your purpose is in this life and where you're going, and then you build your whole reality on that, and everything you do, every decision you make has to,
Oh, like the identity.
yeah.
And you have to have everything to support that.
I became this identity of this Mormon person, then I had to support that in every way that meant.
So your whole life is an illusion. It's just an illusion of things propping you up to to support this identity that you want the world to see you as.
That's why I feel like most all religion has really bad things that it does to people psychologically, but there's religions like the Mormon religion that so deeply program you to think a certain reality.
Yes, so specifically. There's such a sense of an exceptionalism in Mormonism because it's like such a small sect of Christianity. I think we need to go this way. Come on, Olive. Don't step in any cactuses, Muppet. Remember the time I stepped in a cactus? Jesus.
Ow!
Did you get hurt?
Things poked right through my pants. I see these other trans people out in the world, like when we're out in stores or whatever, and this other trans person walks in and they're just so timid and so afraid to live their life. I want so bad to develop a thing where I help other trans people to find their confidence.
I love that. Well, no matter what, they're gonna see you building your confidence as a trans person. That's gonna automatically speak to all the trans people, whether they're in a relationship or not or whatever. It's just besides the point.
Have a pokey weed in my sock.
You know, our shoes are gonna need to be, oh, youch, washed off. You know what I've been hearing for ages? The soul craves simplicity, which is funny because exactly the message you are speaking, it's exactly the message we're gonna speak. Minimalizing your life, and it's gonna be geared around HSPs, it's gonna be geared around people with a lot of trauma, people with ADHD, and how that simplicity and some structure and some daily habits lead to a fulfilled life that's connected to yourself instead of being driven by all of your traumas.
That was a key concept that came to me yesterday, that simplicity of life and how it affects you psychologically.
Your mental health. You were just talking about mental health and minimalism.
Yeah.
Mental health and minimalism go hand in hand.
I used to think of minimalism just simply as getting rid of all this excess shit you don't need. And that's how I watched that documentary before, was just simply just getting rid of this extra stuff, and that makes your life easier.
Look at your shoe.
Oh, Jesus. I wasn't thinking about how it affects you mentally until yesterday when I realized.
On a soul level, babe.
Yeah. Yesterday when I all of a sudden had that realization that my mind at the Burgess house was just so scattered, and that was the word that came to me on the mushrooms, was scattered. Everything is scattered up there. And my mind felt scattered as a result of all of our stuff being spread out over such a big space. And now that we've reined it into such a small space, my mind, as a result, has become less scattered and more able to sleep at night without all these crazy thoughts of all this stuff that's all around me.
We create chaos externally, you know, and then the ego convinces us these are our hobbies, this is what we like to do. But is it, if it's creating literally mental duress and keeping us from connecting with ourselves and self-care? Like if this stuff is taking you from taking care of yourself, connecting with your child, connecting with your spouse, it's not serving you.
Stuff that we've equipped ourselves with to support our identity that we think we have to live up to. We gather all this stuff to who am I? What is my life? What is my purpose here? And we have this idea in our mind of what I look like as a person to other people, and what do I need to support this look. I need this nice house. I need this big shop where I can work on my stuff that I work on, because that's what I do. That's who I am. I'm a do-it-all person, so I have to get everything that I need to do it all and make it all happen. And that's what I did. I realized that my traumas caused me to feel like I had to do it all, and therefore I acquired everything I needed to actually do it all, to do everything I ever wanted to do. If there's a car I wanted to work on, I wanted to have every tool I needed to make that possible. I wanted to paint walls in the house, I wanted to have all this stuff, to do all the sheetrock work myself. Didn't want to have to hire someone else to do it. But then the result is I have so much stuff everywhere that is just so confusing to my mind, trying to keep track of it. And that's what came to me, was that my mind tries to keep track of all of my stuff everywhere it's at. And when it's in a place where it's scattered all over the place, like the last place we were living, in a great big 3,000 something square foot house in a big garage, when my mind is trying to subconsciously keep track of where all my stuff is, it becomes so confusing, and I couldn't sleep at night. I'd lay there with my thoughts just going all night long, thinking random things like, oh, tomorrow I need to take care of my canvas plants, tomorrow I need to do this, tomorrow I need to do that. Whereas when life is so much simpler and less filled with all this unnecessary stuff, it's just easier to wake up in the morning and not feel that stress. It's easier to go to bed at night and actually sleep.
It leads to the ADHD and the OCD stuff too, trauma. How when you have so much trauma and you're so scattered, part of your healing process is simplifying your life. Has to be.
Our best stuff comes is just when we're walking and driving.
Laying in bed at night.
As you're nice and kind to one person, it puts them in a good mood. They're likely to be kind to the next person they come across.
Yeah. And you're just putting that frequency out. You're emitting a frequency all the time that's bringing the collective energy up. Because we're all inextricably connected from one another. Every single time, like, we are making those choices. Are we serving love? Are we serving fear? Are we serving our ego? Or are we serving our higher purpose? Ooh. Are we serving our ego, or are we serving our higher purpose? Are we serving love or fear? We should write those things down, and then magic in every moment.
Yes.
And we should hang those things up, because those are what you should remember.
Totally.
Is this serving your highest purpose, or is this serving your ego's needs right now?
That should always be asked in every situation. There are certain things that I guess life requires that don't necessarily feel like they're serving your higher purpose.
This is it, babe. This is where we're good. Feet on the earth. So good.
I need some of that. Feels so good. There's some dirt. Feet on the earth, sun on your skin. It just feels so good. Let's get in the bath.
Oh my God, you should have seen how much dirt was coming off of her. There was literally so much. I was thinking, dang, Dad, you're not here.